Okay, I'm hoping we're in the right live. Let me see.
These would actually be a really good alternative to chips.
So it was giving me a problem.
Peach slices, no additives or preservatives. That's the ingredient list. There's no added sugar. That's pretty amazing. These are really good too. And the shelf life is so long that we don't have to worry about things growing mold or going bad, which is what happens a lot when we buy fresh produce in our house. So this is a great solution to that problem. These are amazing. My kids would love these. This food is really good. Go to beprepared.com. Good too. And the shelf life is so long that we don't have to worry about things growing mold or going bad, which is what happens a lot when we buy fresh produce in our house. So this is a great solution to that problem. These are amazing. My kids would love these. This food is really good. Go to beprepared.com. Good too. And the shelf life is so long that we don't have to worry about things.
Right? I got you. Now I'm not. Okay. Yeah, I had a commercial and I saw that. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It should be okay now. Let me see here. Uh-oh. Hold on. I don't know what it just brought me to. You know what it just did? It just jumped and I saw Natalie Shirilla giving her victim's impact statement. Isn't that crazy? Okay. There you go. We're good now. Double sound, no more, right? Good now, right? Okay. So I'm going to bring up something that answers some of the questions that we had. It's all good though, right? Now though, the sound is all good now? Think so, because I muted everything. Now it's all good. You thought you was, what did you think you were? Shies? What is that? Oh, it's kids. Okay. Is it all good? It's all good now though, right? All good? Sound is good. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to show you something. I want to go through this, okay? Let me see. I downloaded this. Let me pull this. Hi, Amy. We're going to go through some stuff right now that I think is going to answer some of the questions that I know I had and you guys, I was asking you guys yesterday. So let me get this downloads. Okay. Is this? Yeah. So I want to put this over here. Because this answer, get over there. Get over there. All right, this answers some questions. So if we go here, excuse me, this is the journal entry and opinion, judgment affirmed. This is from September 26th of 2024. As that's funny, we're just in September of 2020. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I better put my sound. Let me put my sound. Let me take my sound off the iPad and put my sound over here, okay? Just give me a second here. Let me, how's that now? How's the sound now? Is it okay? Because I just changed sound. I'm going to go back to the chat. You guys tell me. You let me know if the sound is okay, if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Pauline, you're having a hard time staying in chat? You just had your gallbladder removed? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, I hope you feel better soon. Yikes. The sound okay? Okay. So here we go. So this is going to give us some details of the seats and stuff, right? Okay, Mackenzie Shirilla appeals her convictions, right? A delinquency complaint was filed in Cuyahoga County Juvenile Court, which alleged that the appellant had committed offenses of aggravated murder, felonious assault, aggravated vehicular homicide, drug possession, and possessing criminal tools. The juvenile court held a hearing to determine whether the case should be transferred to the Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court General Division for Criminal Prosecution. At the hearing, the state introduced evidence to support transfer. To assist with readability, we do not summarize the same evidence twice in this opinion, but rather discuss the salient disagreements between the defense and the state in our discussion of Shirilla's first assignment of error below. The juvenile court found that the state failed to establish probable cause that Shirilla committed aggravated murder, but did find probable cause was established as to the remaining charges and transferred the case to the General Division. A Cuyahoga grand jury returned a 12-count indictment charging Shirilla with 4 counts of murder, 4 counts of felonious assault, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, drug possession, and possession of criminal tools. The crimes were alleged to have caused the deaths of Dominic Russo and Davion Flanagan. The appellant waived her right to a trial by jury, and she elected to have the charges tried to the bench. A bench trial, guys, means the judge is going to be the fact finder. There's going to be no jury. It's up to the judge. The trial court completed a judge view, visiting several locations along the route traveled by Shirilla, Russo, and Flanagan on July 31st, 2022. The parties stipulated that the defendant is the person who was driving the car at the time of the crash. Michael Galassi testified that he is employed as a police patrol officer with the Strongsville Police Department. On July 31st, Strongsville Police received a 911 call reporting that a vehicle had crashed into a building near the intersection of Progress Drive and Alameda Drive in Cuyahoga County. Galassi responded to the scene, and he testified that he observed a black car crashed into a building, and the car looked like it was cut in half. There was heavy front-end damage, and appeared that it's cut down the middle. Galassi related to dispatch that the situation was pretty severe. Galassi ran to the driver's side. Now this is important, listen. Where he observed that a passenger, later identified as Flanagan, was on top of the passenger seat with his back on top of the passenger seat and his head facing the top of the car. Flanagan appeared to be deceased as he did not seem to be breathing and had severe head trauma. So let's get that again. Galassi ran to the passenger side where he observed that a passenger, later identified as Flanagan, Davion, was on top of the passenger seat with his back on top of the passenger seat and his head facing the top of the car. Flanagan appeared to be deceased. Hey, Billy Boy Blue. As he did not seem to be breathing and he had severe head trauma. Galassi continued searching the vehicle and discovered a third occupant. Galassi related that the passenger seat... Oh, hold on a minute. Where's the one? We just missed something. Hold on. Where's the one where he sees her? Oh, here it is. Here's the part. Galassi ran to the driver's side, okay, and saw the legs and lower torso of what appeared to be a female. See, this makes much more sense. Listen, I thought she was sitting in the driver's seat. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak tonight. I thought she was in the driver's seat with her seatbelt on and somehow got her head under the dash on the driver's side. That's not what happened. Hi, Billy Boy Blue, and thank you for being a member for 48 months. I was going to tell you, you were here a lot longer than 2 years. Okay, so here, see what happened? Listen, the torso and the legs are what the officer observed from the driver's side. But he saw that the upper half of her body was on the passenger side, underneath the passenger dashboard, what was caved in on top of her. So how in the world, tell me how in the world, she's got her seatbelt on and she is over on the passenger side? Because your seatbelt usually tightens up when there's something happening. How was she, and they said they had to cut her seatbelt off, correct? So how in the world was she with her legs and her torso on the driver's seat, and she was over on the passenger side and then under the dashboard? It makes more sense how she would be under the dashboard then, okay? But how did she do that with that seatbelt on? So she was, the dashboard was caved in on top of her. And then, okay, the second thing, the passenger seat, and sees Davion Flanagan. But he didn't see Dom at first, okay? He did not see Dom. And then he noticed, and this is the one thing, Dom's seat was reclined all the way. And the third occupant was in the passenger seat with Flanagan lying on top of him. The third occupant, Russo, also had severe head trauma. So with this information, how in the world do we know that Flanagan was not reaching over, trying to stop this car, trying to get into the front of the car? How do we know any of this now? Dom's seat was completely reclined. If Dom's seat was completely reclined, wouldn't you think Flanagan, Davion, was sitting behind Mackenzie? Because that's a Toyota Camry with that seat completely reclined. Could Davion Flanagan comfortably sit behind Dom? I doubt it. Now, the impact without a seatbelt, sure, could have got him in there. But was he trying to climb into the front? I don't know. Dom was all the way, I guess they're saying, reclined back with Davion on top of him. So let me see. You suspect that seatbelt broke during impact. Okay. And they just had to cut it off of her just because it was holding her somewhere, maybe. Okay, let's see. Now let's go to this, because this has a lot of stuff, and I don't know, maybe I saw this before, but a lot of times your head gets so much information, you have to go over things again. And when you learn more about a case, then you have different questions, and you have to go over sometimes things that you might have seen before, and then they make more sense, okay? So this is what this document is doing for me. So, based on the initial assessment of the crash, Galassi believed that all three occupants were dead at the scene. An officer broke a window and began cutting the airbags. However, they heard mumbling, and they determined that the driver was still alive. The Strongsville Fire Department arrived on scene and used tools to extract Flanagan. Now look, they got Flanagan. It's saying out first. Okay, not the seatbelt, the physical passenger seat. Oh, the seat broke. Okay, I get you. Now, they arrived on scene, and it's saying that they used tools to extract Flanagan, then Shirilla, and finally Russo. Shirilla had significant injuries to her leg and arm. One of the first things she said was, "How is Davion?" He was easiest to get out. Okay, gotcha. Emergency personnel called for 2 ambulances, one for each, Shirilla and Flanagan, who was determined to still be alive as well. So that is right. Somebody said that they thought Flanagan had a faint. Something was faint. So Flanagan was alive, they're saying, but in some of the police cam, they say they were dead on a road. I don't know. Okay. One for each, Shirilla and Flanagan, who was determined to still be alive as well. Unfortunately, Flanagan died on the scene before the helicopter arrived. Galassi went to the hospital where medical personnel had taken Shirilla. He learned that alcohol testing had been conducted and Shirilla had not been under the influence of alcohol at the time of the crash. Galassi then returned to the scene to collect evidence. Officers collected 8.1 grams of mushrooms, a digital scale, 2 cell phones, a bong, a bag of marijuana, a purse, and a Cadillac key fob. On cross-examination, Galassi admitted that Progress Drive is a cut-through street with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour. He admitted that drivers use Progress Drive as a cut-through to get from Pearl Road to State Route 82, Royalton Road, and they often exceed the speed limit traveling on that route. Brent Robinson testified that he's employed as a patrol officer with the Strongsville Police Department and has driven through the area of the crash hundreds of times. He describes the area as a commercial area and described the route as follows. It's a concrete paved road. It's one of our older paved roads in the city. I would say that it's got some wear and tear to it. You can tell there are certain sections of the concrete that are raised, so it's a little bit difficult driving. I would say like the speed limit down the road, you could feel the bumps as you are driving in your cruiser. When you drive onto Progress Drive from Pearl Road, it goes from east to west, and there's a series of curves that you will experience in the roadway. Once you get to the end of Progress, it's a T intersection. Robinson responded to the crash scene. The prosecution played recordings captured by cameras inside his patrol car, facing out through the front and the rear windshields. The camera recorded Robinson driving at a maximum speed of 54 miles per hour. And he stated that he felt this was as fast as he could safely drive on that road. It's a rough road. So even at that speed, he had to hold onto the steering wheel to make sure he was in control. Robinson assisted with breaking windows and cutting airbags in the crashed vehicle. Russo and Flanagan appeared to be deceased at the scene. Shirilla was stuck underneath the dashboard, facing down in her lap. On cross-examination, Robinson admitted that Shirilla was unresponsive when he arrived on scene. Brent Stanislaw testified he is employed as a firefighter, paramedic, and captain with the Barrera Fire Department. He and other paramedics from Barrera responded to the crash scene in Strongsville to assist. Okay. Personnel, because there were 3 persons needing assistance. The call for aid came to them just before 6:30 a.m. on July 31st. Strongsville personnel asked the Barrera paramedics to provide aid to the driver of the vehicle who was being extricated when Barrera personnel arrived. Stanislaw assessed Shirilla when she was extricated. Her eyes were closed when the assessment began. After paramedics began asking her questions, Shirilla gave delayed verbal responses back to them. Shirilla was confused but alert. She was not oriented to event or place. Stanislaus said that he was confused as to what the events were, but her pulse, motor, and sensation in her 4 extremities were normal, which he said ruled out a stroke, seizure, or other significant neurological emergency. Shirilla had several broken bones and her blood pressure was elevated on scene. Her blood oxygen level was 82. Now watch this though. When a normal level is 95 or above, her heart was determined to be in normal sinus rhythm with a normal heart rate. See, they were saying down further that 82 may have just been a misplaced, like they put the oximeter on her finger wrong or something. During the medical assessment, Stanislaw found a baggie in Shirilla's shirt which contained mushrooms. He also found a plastic case, and he handed both of those items to a police officer. On cross-examination, Stanislaw admitted that a person could have a seizure before medical personnel arrived, and there would be no signs of it during the medical evaluation. His assessment of Shirilla was limited to his observations at the moment in time when she was in the ambulance. Stanislaw further admitted that a blood oxygen level of 82 is extremely low. Normally, a level that low indicates that a person just went into cardiac arrest or just came back out of cardiac arrest. The level could also be seen in a person with a chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder or another respiratory ailment, but it could also be the result of a misplaced measurement device or cold fingers. Stanislaw testified that during the assessment, Shirilla was confused. Her eyes were closed. She had fractured bones. She was in pain, and she said she did not know what happened. Stephen Vanek testified that he is employed as a police detective with the Strongsville Police Department, and he was assigned to assist in the crash investigation. Shirilla's vehicle crashed into the brick wall of a manufacturing facility operated by the Plitko Company. Vanek spoke with the president of the company that operated the facility and took photographs of the scene. He collected pieces of the vehicle from the scene and, after obtaining a search warrant, he searched the car involved in the crash. And Vanek also collected surveillance video from the businesses located near the crash site. Finally, he used a drone to capture a video he took as well as the surveillance videos he collected. On cross-examination, Vanek admitted that there is a fairly sharp turn at the intersection of Progress Drive and Alameda Drive. There is a stop sign at the intersection, but because of tree cover, a driver does not necessarily see the stop sign until only a short distance before the intersection. Christopher Martin testified that he's 42 and a friend of Dominic Russo's family. Martin testified about an incident that occurred in July 2022 before the crash. On that day in July, Martin was sitting with Dominic's mother, Christine. When Dominic called Christine, seemed upset. Christine grew upset. Martin agreed to drive to go get him out of the situation. That could have been a bad situation. Martin called Dominic on the way in order to obtain his exact location and ultimately located the vehicle which Shirilla was driving and in which Dominic was a passenger on the shoulder of Interstate 71. Martin was on the phone with Dominic at the time as both cars were pulling over. Martin heard Dominic and Shirilla arguing. During the course of the argument, Shirilla said, "I'm going to wreck this car right now." Dominic moved to exit the vehicle when it came to a stop. Martin testified that he saw a tussle inside the car with Shirilla swinging her hands at him. Dominic exited Shrilla's car, entered Martin's car, and Martin drove Dominic back to the Russo home. Dominic was upset. On cross-examination, Martin admitted that Christine Russo owns 2 houses next door to each other. Christine lives in one house with 2 of her sons, and in July 2022, Dominic was living in the other house with Shirilla. Martin further admitted that he did not report the incident on the highway to the police. Christine Russo testified that she's Dominic Russo's mother, that Dominic was 20 years old when he was killed. Christine owned 2 houses next door to each other in Strongsville at the time of the crash. She lived in one and Dominic lived in the other. According to Christine Russo, Dominic and Shirilla had met in school, and they'd been dating for approximately 4 years at the time of the crash. Christine considered Shirilla to be part of her family, and they spent a lot of time together over the years. Shirilla moved in with Dominic in December of 2021 or January of 2022. In the 6 months before the crash, Christine observed that the relationship between Dominic and Shirilla became strained. She observed fighting, arguments, disagreements, breakups, and threats. She reported that Shirilla became more possessive of Dominic. And there came a time in August or September of 2022 that Christine and Shirilla were together at Dominic's grave. Christine asked Shirilla why they did not ask for a ride on the day of the crash. Shirilla responded that they were not effed up. Shirilla and Christine also communicated by text message about the accident. Shirilla texted Christine the following: "I remember turning onto the street and then my vision fades to black. It really kills me not being able to remember anything. I promise you I would tell you. I've been asking my therapist why I don't remember, and she said it's because of the trauma. I'm going to try to get myself hypnotized and make myself remember." Hi, Alyssa. You're saying a lot. Let me read what you're saying. If anybody wants to call in, just let me know, and I'll give you the number and you can call in, okay? Okay. Let's see. Alyssa says, the new cop could have saved Davion. All that cop said is OMG. Dear God, a million times, and looked and said, they're dead. Dude, get another job if you can't handle it. He had a heartbeat. I watched it again, and that was the only cop saying, dear God. Seriously, like 20 times. It was so annoying. Everyone else was doing their job. If you watch it again, you'll know what I mean. Okay. See, I don't believe that story because, hold on a minute, what'd you say? The texts say otherwise. I know she's guilty, but I think they fibbed about some things to make sure that she got locked up. But Dom was the one that took the wheel. Kenzie texted her. She called Kenzie a liar. You can tell that Christine was the kind of mother that thinks her son can do no wrong. Text show Dom apologizing to her. Okay. All right, so let's see. Christine confirmed the incident on July 17th when Dominic called Christine and needed to be picked up immediately. That Christine asked Christopher Martin to pick Dominic up, and the two returned to her house approximately a half an hour later, and that Dominic was upset when he returned. After Dominic died, Christine was provided with 3 videos of Shirilla and Dominic on a phone that had been inside of Dominic's house, which she provided to the police. We've seen they're on the channel here. Christine testified the videos had been made in July 2022 after the incident on the highway, based upon the content of the conversations between Shirilla and Dominic, and had been recorded on a phone owned by William Ellis. The phone had been in Dominic's home and was returned to Ellis, who then discovered the video recordings. The court allowed the videos to be played over defense objection that they were inadmissible. In the videos, Shirilla can be heard threatening Dominic, threatening to break into his house. Paul Burlinghouse testified that he's 19 years old and has known Shirilla since they were in middle school together. He knew Dominic Russo through Shirilla and knew Davion Flanagan through mutual friends. Burlingham testified that at approximately 11 p.m. on the evening of July 30th, Russo, Flanagan, Shirilla, and other friends came to Burlinghouse's house to hang out. They listened to music, and a few of them smoked marijuana. Burlinghouse did not smoke, and he did not believe that Shirilla did either. The tone of the get-together was quite chill, just like a normal sleepover. No one drank alcohol or used any other drugs. Burlinghouse went to sleep sometime after midnight and woke up around 3 or 4, at which time Shirilla was asleep on the couch. Flanagan was watching a television program with another one of their friends, but Burlinghouse did not see Russo at the time. Burlinghouse went back to sleep, and when he arose later in the morning, all the guests were gone. One of his friends texted him to tell him about the crash, and I couldn't believe it. On cross-examination, Burlinghouse admitted that he did not see Shirilla and Dominic fighting at the get-together. Everything seemed fine between them. Tyler Croy testified that he's 19. He knew Shirilla because they were classmates in high school, and he knew Dominic through mutual friends. Croy and Davion Flanagan were pretty good friends throughout high school and after they graduated. Croy and Flanagan were connected on the social media applications Life360 and Snapchat. Life360 is an application that tracks users' locations through their mobile homes. It makes location information available to approved connections. Snapchat allowed the two to exchange photographs and electronic messages. Croy was out of state on July 30th and July 31st, but he communicated with Flanagan over Snapchat in the early morning hours of July 31st. When Croy heard that Flanagan had been involved in a crash, Croy took a screenshot of Flanagan's location data as recorded by Life360 and provided that information to the police. Alyssa says, you can tell that... Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You're still on that, Alyssa. Okay. Okay, 3-6. I'm trying to get to the point that... Faraha hosted a graduation party. The party was laid back. Shirilla drove to the party at 10:15 or 10:30 with Russo and Flanagan. Faraha welcomed them. And she said that Shirilla asked her if she trips, and Varaha said that she did not. The three guests had brought a bottle of tequila and a weed pen with them, and she saw Flanagan holding the weed pen. Shirilla, Russo, and Flanagan were debating on going to somebody's house, or they were debating on tripping that night. Shirilla, Russo, and Flanagan stayed at the party approximately 25-30 minutes, which time Varaha did not see any of them using drugs or drinking alcohol, and they left. Angelo Russo testified he's 24 and is Dominic's brother. Russo met Shirilla when she and Dominic began dating, and Shirilla was over at Angelo's house a lot. According to Angelo Russo, Shirilla and Dominic had broken up many times over the years, and in June and July of 2022, Dominic was considering ending the relationship for good. Shirilla sent Angelo a few text messages after the crash, which Angelo provided to the police. In an August 6, 2022 text, Shirilla asked Angelo, would you be able to go into Dom's room and grab some photos from his desk of me and him so I could put them into the casket so he can be with me forever? Shirilla sent him another message later that month in which she apologized for the crash and said, I know you probably think this is all my fault. I wish that he was here too. This should have never happened. I really do feel bad. It's killing me. Okay, it's killing her. So, let's see here now. I want to hear more about the hospital. So let's see if we can get something more about. Okay. The car registered a small change in velocity as it hit the curb, and then a large change in velocity as the vehicle hit the wall. The vehicle hit the wall 1.1 seconds after the hard steering event. So there was a hard steering event. Hi, just Pepper. Let me see. Okay, within 4.5 seconds of the start of the crash, the vehicle registered a small right turn. There's a small left turn, followed by a significant right-hand turn that caused the data recorder to note a rollover event, meaning that there was enough lateral force on the car that the data recorder thought it was turning over. He explained that the car was traveling very fast and that there was a hard yank of the steering wheel. 142 degrees. Now, wait a minute. Within 4.5 seconds of the start of the crash, the vehicle registered a small right turn, then a small left turn, followed by a significant right-hand turn that caused the 4.5 seconds. It seems like 4.5 seconds it already came to a stop. When you watch that, it's so fast. The car registered a small change in velocity as it hit the curb. And then, what about the sign? Why aren't they talking about when it hit the sign? A large change in velocity as it hit the wall. The vehicle hit the wall 1.1 seconds after the hard steering event. Okay. So the hard steering event is right before it hit that wall. So that's significant because that's the hard steering event is not when it went off the curb then. The hard steering event is maybe to avoid that building. On cross-examination, McQuaid admitted that the data does not show what caused the steering wheel to take a hard right turn. He further admitted that the side airbags deployed approximately 30 milliseconds after the hard steering event. He further admitted that it is accepted in his field that it takes a person 1.5 seconds to react to something they have perceived. The data available from the computer was limited to the last 4.75 seconds before the vehicle hit the wall. Okay, Esther Sang testified she's employed as a trauma surgeon. She was stipulated that Dr. Sang is an expert in the field of trauma medicine. Shirilla was examined after the crash. According to medical records, she reported pain everywhere. An exam determined that her airway was intact, her breathing and circulation were normal, and her pupils were reacting normally. She was alert and oriented. Physical exam revealed that Shirilla's right elbow and right knee appeared abnormal, and that there was a 2-centimeter laceration to her left knee. Shirilla's mother, informed medical personnel that Shirilla had a history of postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, POTS, which can cause a patient to have an unusually elevated heart rate. But her heart rate was normal. According to medical records, Shirilla denied drug use when asked by medical personnel, and a blood alcohol test reflected not detected. Medical personnel did not note any cardiovascular, neurological, joint or muscle symptoms. No symptoms related to sleep disturbances, anxiety, memory loss, disorientation, inattention, or depression were noted, and an electrocardiogram was performed and revealed that the electrical function of her heart was normal. Okay. A medical record does note that Shirilla reported feeling depressed, and she felt grief, guilt, and shame. She said she wanted to die and expressed that it was her fault for killing her boyfriend. On cross-examination, Dr. Sang admitted that oxygen level of 82 would be abnormally low for most people. She admitted that a patient with POTS may experience dizziness or a headache. Medical personnel evaluated Shirilla approximately 2 hours after the reported time of the crash. A person who suffered a seizure or a mini stroke could possibly have recovered within 2 hours. Michael Romaninski testified that she's employed as an investigator with the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Okay, when applying for a temporary driver's license after the incident in 2022, Shirilla attested that she did not have any condition that results in episodic impairment or consciousness or loss of motor control. She further attested that she does not have a physical or mental condition. That prevents her from exercising reasonable or ordinary control of a motor vehicle. She received a driver's license on October 21st, 2022. Shirilla had made the same attestations to obtain her previous license, which was issued April of 2021. Mark Sargent testified that he's employed by a consulting firm. Okay, this one, he's where's the medical? The hard right turn happened nearly simultaneously with the vehicle hitting the curb. See, now they're saying the hard right turn happened simultaneously with the victim hitting the vehicle hitting the curb. Okay, Flanagan and Russo each died from multiple blunt force injuries consistent with an automobile crash. Flanagan's lethal injuries were to his trunk and abdomen. Russo's lethal injuries were to his head. Toxicology testing showed that Flanagan and Russo had both used marijuana before their deaths. The manner of these deaths was initially classified as an accident, but based on a report from the Strongsville Police Department indicating that the death was being investigated as a traffic accident. In March of 2023, the prosecution submitted additional evidence to the medical examiner's office and requested a reconsideration of the manner of death for the victims. The additional evidence consisted of transcripts from cell phones, still photographs, video images, and interviews with various witnesses. Based on the additional information, Dr. Fellow amended the autopsy report for both of the victims, changing the cause of death from an accident to a homicide. The report indicates that the investigation revealed the driver's intention of inflicting self-harm and harm onto the passengers in the vehicle. Let's see. I want to see something different here. She made a statement. Okay. Hazu testified that he's an employed as a detective with the Strongsville Police Department. Hazu obtained surveillance video from city-owned cameras. He described the video recorded the Camry approaching Progress before making a controlled turn from southbound Pearl onto westbound Progress. Hazu had submitted the suspected mushrooms recovered from Shirilla by medical personnel to the laboratory for testing. The laboratory confirmed the substance weighed 6.91 grams and was 95% psilocybin. Hazu interviewed Shirilla in the hospital, during which she made the statement either to him or to her mother in the direction about, "Just take my license away for 10 years. GPS data from Shrilla's phone recorded that Shirilla's phone was located in the area of Progress in Alameda on July 28th. Okay, this we don't really believe here that. So here's they're saying about the diagnosis of POTS, that it was made according to Natalie, who testified that Shirilla was diagnosed with POTS in 2017 at the Cleveland Clinic. Natalie could not remember the name of the doctor who made the diagnosis. Natalie took Shirilla to the doctor after Shirilla fell on the kitchen floor on one occasion. The doctors made the diagnosis and gave Shirilla salt tabs to treat the condition. Shirilla would take the tablets or eat a salty food as needed. Since the diagnosis, there have been a couple of occasions when she would find herself feeling low in salt or woozy and would sit down and eat some crackers or another salty food. Hi, Dank. Toyota's almost always... Wait, hold on, let me see something. Let me see what you're saying here. Dank says... Toyota's almost bankrupted from that Camry sticking accelerator. The lawyer mom should have started there. Toyota almost bankrupted. Oh, I know about that. The acceleration, right? They left the last left turn after driver's side impact to the sign before the crash. She was even wearing her seatbelt, which was a very rare habit for her. So she crashed on July 31st and got her license in October. No, I think that's they miswrote there. I think that was a renewal. Her license was, she had it in, what they say, April of 2021. Natalie admitted that she helped Shirilla apply for a driver's license twice since the POTS diagnosis was made, and neither time... See, that's not making sense that she applied for a driver's license twice. I think she means she applied for it and then the one time was a renewal. That doesn't, neither time that diagnosis was never disclosed. Okay. Natalie testified that Shirilla had experienced a POTS episode a day or two before the crash and said that it was really bad and hadn't been bad in a long time. She was scared. It was going to get worse. Natalie admitted that she did not take Shirilla to a doctor or limit her driving privileges. Natalie's statement on direct that Shirilla had never threatened suicide was impeached. It's impeached by the text we see. With a police report from March 23rd, 2020, that reflected that police and fire personnel were dispatched to the Shirilla home to respond to a 15-year-old female who had threatened to take her own life. The police report went on to state that Shirilla would not be transported to a hospital because her parents did not think her threats were real and did not believe she will hurt herself. I don't know. Why is she not saying anything about the hospital? Why aren't they talking about the hospital? Medical experts examined Shirilla after the crash and could find no evidence that she had been afflicted with a neurological or muscular condition that could have contributed to the crash. A mechanical expert examined the vehicle and found no sign of latent defects that could have contributed to the crash. The evidence was sufficient for the fact finder to conclude beyond a reasonable doubt that Shirilla crashed the vehicle purposefully, intending to kill Flanagan and Russo. Okay. So let's see what you're saying now. Okay, let me see what you're saying now. Hang on. Okay. Hi, Calla Lily. How are you? I don't see her wearing her seatbelt in any of her many Snapchat videos. Okay. This exactly. She really planned this out. Toyota almost. Okay, we heard that one. Yeah, from Dominic. She couldn't drive straight down the street into the wall. If she did, she would have hit the trees. I think that was the older model of Toyota that had that issue. She had to turn the steering wheel right to drive in the only space between the small boulder and a black fire hydrant. Right before hitting the wall, she had to turn left so it wouldn't hit her straight on. We should do a panel. Yeah. I said anybody could call in that wants to call in. Do you want to call in? Call in. Send me an email and I will give you the number. My email's in the video description, or it's right there on the, you can ask Nightbot. Just put ! email. Shirilla posted that the crash could have been caused by distracted. Okay, let's see what this says. Shirilla contends that the weight of the evidence establishes that Trillo and Russo's relationship was in a good place at the time of the fatal crash. Burlingham and Varaha saw them shortly before the crash and did not report anything out of the ordinary. Others who knew Shirilla and Russo, Grollo, Shipley, and Shrilla's mother all testified the two seemed to be in love. Shirilla points out that her POTS condition may have led to a medical issue that caused the accident, or she may have had some other medical emergency like a heart attack or a seizure. Shirilla posted that the crash could have been caused by distracted driving or simple reckless, contrary to the testimony of Detective Hazo that Shirilla often drove distracted or recklessly. According to her social media, she argues that in light of all these possible other explanations, the manifest weight of the evidence weighs against the verdicts. After a careful review of the record, we find this is not the exceptional case where the evidence weighed heavily against the verdicts. You know my email, Alyssa, but it's in the video description. It's in the video description, or Nightbot will give it to you. Right there, it's right there. It's somebody's putting it in, Nightbot. Okay. So here's the thing about the gear shift. Okay, wait, here's the neutral thing. Okay. While Dr. Sang testified that it's possible that Shirilla could have suffered a medical emergency like a seizure or a mini stroke, while still appearing normal in the medical examination, other evidence makes this potential explanation seem unreasonable. For example, Shirilla denied having adverse medical conditions when applying for a driver's license, both before and after the crash. Moreover, someone manually moved the gear shift back into drive after it was moved to neutral in the seconds before the crash, and there was no evidence presented that any medical condition could have caused Shirilla to simultaneously lose the ability to take her foot off the accelerator or hit the brakes while also intentionally manipulating the gear shift. So could the gear shifter, if it was on the, I don't know where it was there, but could have moved from when she ended up going over to the passenger side? I don't know. I don't know. A distracted driving incident is also not consistent with the forensic evidence, which shows Shirilla never took her foot off the accelerator, even as the car hit a curb, went airborne, landed, and continued toward a brick wall. She argued her case to the trial court, and the court was permitted to reject any portion of the state's evidence or witness testimony that was inconsistent or otherwise unbelievable. We cannot say that this is an exceptional case in which the evidence weighs heavily against the court's verdicts. We therefore overrule Shirilla's third assessment of error. In the first assessment of error, Shirilla contends that the juvenile court erred by transferring her case to the General Division of the Common Pleas Court. Yeah, but you don't have to apply the brakes in order to shift gears. Okay, she should have Alford plea to take the deal. That's denying. Yeah, I know what an Alford plea is, but look at Jamie Komorowski took a plea. She didn't get any leniency at all. She got a life sentence, and that was for killing one person in the when her car hit the golf court after that wedding in South Carolina in Folly Beach. Folly Beach. Folly Beach. So, I don't know what they would have offered her the plea. Let me see if it lets us email me. Alyssa, are you there? There you are. Okay. Okay, Alyssa. Oh shoot, that's not the Zoom link. Hold on, please. Hold on, please. Okay, I'm sending it to you. Hang on. I'm sending it to you. Okay. All right, you've got it. You've got it. If anybody else wants to call in, all you have to do is send me an email. If she had a jury trial, she would have had more time given. You believe that? She would have had more time given? But for the record, I think she probably did do it on purpose, Mike C. says. Okay.
Is that?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you're really into this case, right, too?
I'm very much into this case.
Yeah.
So I was watching, I watched that thing again where, the cop sees everything and they first walk up, and
Right.
I don't remember that first cop being such a rookie. I don't remember him being so annoying, but for some reason he just, I don't know what my problem was today, but I was like, this is the most annoying person I've ever, I don't know why he was getting on my nerves so bad, but I watched it again today while I was getting ready, and I was just like, what is wrong with this man? I understand being shocked.
Yeah.
And seeing the boys and everything. Obviously, that's going to be a horrible thing to see, but he walks over there and he's just and he keeps saying God. And first he's like, oh dear God.
I have to look about which one it is, because there's one that, okay,
There is more than one, right?
Right, there's the one that,
Okay.
I think the one that went to the hospital that got the name wrong and was going to send somebody to Dom's house. That was terrible.
I
Can
saw
you
that
even
too.
imagine, like, what was traumatizing enough what they did to that woman, but can you imagine them going there and saying, look, there was an accident, Dom's fine, but we got to find
Yeah.
out who that other person is in the car. Is Dom here to find out and maybe help us ID that person?
Even her family was freaked out, like, oh my gosh, it was Dom. And then they're like, no, it wasn't. And
Oh, I know
like,
Dominic
what the
Russo, and that's
heck?
not Dominic Russo.
Yeah, he said he knew him. I was like, what is
Hi,
going
Jeanette.
on here? So then the footage, I don't know if there's more than one footage of when they walk up to the car though.
There's a few, yeah. I have a lot of different police cams.
So the cam that I saw today was on that one ridiculous channel where they're trying to say that she's innocent.
Oh,
The circus one, because I like to watch like just what do they got to say today, and so I was kind of like going over it, and I watched their whole one, and I think it must have been a different one because I've never seen this copy so aggravating in my life. I mean, he just keeps using the word God.
I wonder if I can find it. Let me see if I can, because I have them all.
Okay, yeah, it's on that circus one.
Well, no, I mean I have my own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have my own.
He just keeps saying God, and first he's like, "Oh dear God, oh God bless, oh God this, God that," and then he's like, "And then if you guys can close the goddamn street," and then I'm like, "What?" And then he goes back to the thing. He's like, "Oh dear God bless, God da 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 da," and then he's like, "I need to take a moment for the boy," and it's like everybody else is doing their job. And you walk up to the boys first and you see them and they blur out the boys and you can almost see Davion laying on top of Dom, like backwards. You can almost see it, like the blurred out. And I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was kind of creepy. But he didn't even.
So there's I have so much police footage. Let me see.
Like he didn't try to open the door. He was just like, oh yeah, they're dead. Like
these are from the car, so I think that these are.
That would have been my kid.
130.
And then later I heard that he had a heartbeat, and that rookie was just like sitting around going, oh my gosh, that'll really wake me up in the morning. Like he was just talking about himself.
Okay, Alyssa, do you see the guy does the guy you say go into the back of his car at all?
No, he doesn't go in the car at all. The dumb cop guy.
No one's breathing.
No one's breathing. Is that?
Yeah, he does say no one's breathing.
Let me pull this one over. You'll probably have to watch it on that you'll have to look at it on your YouTube. That's the problem. So you'd have to.
No one's breathing.
Let me see if I can pull this over. Hang on. Get over there. Why is this not going small? Okay, go small. All right, let me pull this over now. Cut over here.
And he just keeps saying, like, it must have been hours and hours, and it really wasn't that long. But it's like, it was just so aggravating. I'm like, if he says that one more time.
I thought this was, did I just grab the wrong one now? Hold on a minute, I thought this. No, that's the one I have. But how come I saw him grab? This is no. Oh boy.
Yeah, he does look at him and he says nobody's breathing. Then he's just like, they're dead. They're dead. And I'm like, but he wasn't. He had a heartbeat. It's like he didn't even want to look.
Oh wait.
Who can hear my voice?
Who's in here?
Driver, radio. Driver is breathing, unconscious.
I copy.
Radio, they're gonna need full extraction on all three. Come here.
So they did yell in the car.
Radio, plates John, Ida, Boy, 3692. Holy shit, man.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4,
You need a there.
The guy who has
Five.
the camera on him.
Bad guys.
they all have cameras on, and that's why there's so
We gotta
many.
get her out somehow.
She's alive, we have to get her out somehow.
So it's before that part is when he finds the boys.
Right?
That's when he's like, "Oh dear God!" Da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
When he first walks up on it. It's the one
Okay,
like
I think this has to,
before-
wait, I think this has to be the first guy, there's nobody there, okay. Let me see.
It's like as if we're looking at it through his
Radio, there's an
camera.
occupant inside.
All
Send
right,
us some squad now. We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units.
Any more units to progress now, Anita?
Now!
he's trying to break the the driver's side window. This one is the only officer there, now the other one just ran to the
This
car.
is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while.
Not a fresh accident, this must be the one, right?
Yeah, probably. Because I remember him saying that too.
He's trying to break the window with like his flashlight or something, it's not working.
It's so weird. I can see it on my TV, but not on.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving.
No one's moving.
Yeah, I think this is the one.
Oh my God.
Yes, this is the one.
Oh my
I don't know how
God.
many times it
Times
says.
3, guys.
3.
Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing.
Okay.
Bust that window out. Rookie. Oh my God, dude. Who can hear my voice? Driver's radio. The driver is breathing unconscious.
I copy.
See, you can almost see him.
Radio, they're gonna need full extraction on all 3. Come here. Call him the plate. Let him call it in.
Okay, but nobody's saying that Davion has a pulse or anything.
Shit, man.
They say it
Not good.
in another one. And then they also say it, I think, when he's about to get in the
This is bad, guys.
ambulance or something like that.
She's alive. We gotta get her out somehow.
See, I thought the first one, according to those papers, was Davion Flanagan that they got out first.
They should have.
Oh my God.
If that guy wouldn't have said, "Oh, they're both,"
Oh my God.
you know.
It's
If they would have, they could have saved his life. He basically was like, "Oh, they're not breathing. Like,
making a budge.
let's just go get her." Like,
Let's go around and see if we can get.
all because he said that. You see that? I don't know. I would be livid if I was his parents. Cause then like to find out later that, I mean, somebody said he had a heart.
Oh my God. Sarge, we're good to try to get her out? Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
Cause then they were like, okay, well then he died at the scene. Like, you know, later.
She's breathing. She's breathing. Her head's wedged.
And then like for him to keep saying like, oh my God, like, first of all, if I was in a car accident and like, you know, say she wasn't like the little sociopath that she is, like, wouldn't that scare you? Like, You're supposed to be kind of needing to have a little bit of comfort here. Like,
I don't feel
I don't know, that cough just really irritates
Breathing. I saw
me.
her stomach's moving. Look.
Her stomach's moving. He
We
said.
got 2 that are gone.
2 that are gone. See, right away he said 2.
They say, I know, and then he
See,
wasn't
what about
gone.
what about Demore for reconstructionist? He's
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
44, can you start setting up those block traffic north on Alameda?
Like, I don't know how you can have a heartbeat if you're not looking like you're breathing, but they did say, I know they said that he had a heartbeat.
advised fire. That our driver's breathing, unconscious, wedged.
We advise.
I
Holy
showed.
smokes. The last thing you expect to see.
Like he said, just Pepper, perhaps a good lawyer
Help
could
me find
possibly
a trap,
expose
guys.
some gaps
Come
in
through
the
here.
investigation. The reasonable doubt burden would be on the prosecution, and I bet there would probably be some holdouts.
Left the roadway behind your car.
I have a 17-year-old female, Mackenzie.
Went through the sign.
Okay, that might be the driver.
He's like wigging out. He's like, that's the last thing you expect to see. I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah.
I've personally found somebody that was crashed
Okay.
before, and like my friend was with me, and I just like stayed calm for her because I knew that like you can't freak out when somebody is like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I
Mike
just
C.
didn't like-
said, I'm from the area, and Judge Russo is a judge you do not want to get. She's extremely tough. You know what the funny thing is about Judge Russo? She looks like this really, really late night craft creator that is on YouTube. I every time I saw her, I just kept thinking it was this craft creator that's on YouTube, like till all hours of the night. And I just kept saying, wow, that looks so much like her. Like, that's crazy if she would be the judge here in this case. But,
like, what do you do for your hobbies, ma'am?
but yeah, it was just, it was hard for me to, and then we only got to see glimpses of it. I really want to see the whole trial. And somebody asked about the transcripts, and I looked at the transcripts today. That's going to be so much money. They're charging like $4.50 a page.
Really?
Yes, and it's like, and there was like something that was $6.50, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So I don't know about the transcripts, but she may have received some sympathy from young female jurors. Had they had a heart, text messages, sure she would have. Yeah, and so who decided to bring it to a bench trial?
Her mother, apparently. I think so, because that's what it sounded like on the phone. Because her mom was thinking, like, everybody hates her. Let's just try it with one person. And that was just really...
But, I mean, the
hard,
jurors
yeah.
wouldn't have been able to know her.
No. And I think that, like...
Or they could have got it moved to a different jurisdiction if they felt that everybody would know her. I don't know.
Like, even though, like, I feel like she's guilty and I know she's guilty, like, as a juror, I don't know if I would have been able to be like, oh yeah, that's murder, just because
Right.
there's always a little bit of a reasonable doubt, and I don't think I would be able to put someone...
Right, and you
witness-
might get people that'll be like, oh, she was only, not even 18, maybe this, maybe that,
And what if
temporary
she did
insanity,
have some
crime of
kind of an
passion,
episode, like...
etc. He was missing from the party that night. When Kenzie woke up, what happened next? Where was he? Yeah, Shug. I hear ya.
Yeah, and then somebody on some channel had like her one of her girlfriends from jail, and the girlfriend said something like, or they were like, what did you think happened? And she was like, well, or like another friend from jail. And they're like, well, I think that they did do some shrooms that night and they just don't really test for that.
They did.
Like,
They did, though, test for psilocybin. They did.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
And it was it in her system or was it not in her system? So it
Nope.
wasn't? Okay, so then whatever she said was probably a lie to them. Because she was like, so they don't really test for it. So I think
No, they
she
specifically tested for it because they were found on her.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think they would try for everything, especially like in that situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that girl was trying to say like, oh, well, she was tripping and they were arguing.
So there's like a whole bunch of people that think she's innocent, like?
I don't think there's a lot of people that think she's innocent. I just think there's probably like...
I love Judge Russo. She plays no games. I see. Gamble. Oh. Yeah, I mean, with a jury, you never know. You never know what's going to resonate with a jury. And like somebody said, if they had a hard life or if they were like that with a boyfriend or something, they might feel for her. Or if a boyfriend was like that, you know, who knows? They might have sympathy. They're not supposed to have sympathy. They're not supposed to make any decision based on sympathy. But, you know how it goes.
Well, and you gotta know, like, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, like, what could have possibly happened, like for me, I would have thought, well, maybe, I don't know, like, what would have been presented in court, like, perhaps if I would have seen that text about Dom doing the wheel, like, I wouldn't have really known, maybe he could have done something.
Right, because the only witnesses they have for that are Tom's mother and their good friend.
Right.
So is that really, like, you know, that could leave you with a lot of, did that really happen?
Yeah, because the story, it's only one time, I think, when they got pulled over right before then. And it was like, you know, I think maybe he gave her an idea. I mean, but she's the one that went through with it, and that's all that really matters. But I think he was kind of a little bit crazy too with her.
But somebody made a good point that she had a lot of blackmail on him regarding his sales, and maybe that's why when she kept saying, Dom, for real, we're going to have issues if you break up with me, issues, maybe the issues were, I'm going to go to the police.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so
and you know
too.
what's really tells me a lot about her, okay? That phone call I played today, if you missed it, it's the one with her talking to Rosie and talking to Faith. Now, Rosie turned on her, right? Because Rosie deleted all of her stuff on Instagram and she was really pissed about it. But at this point, she was talking to Rosie and Faith, and she so callously talks about Dom. Like when Faith says, I'm going to go and join the army, she goes, oh, go ahead and let me know if you see Dom there, because that's the biggest joke that, like, his brother said that he was going to join the military or something. And that's when she said, like, her tears got sucked up. She said that she was there. And because when she heard that he was going to join the military, because she says that was a lie and they just did that. But for her, this was her love of her life, as she says. And he died here. The way she goes, yeah, go to the army and let me know if you see Dom there. She's making just like a really cavalier joke of it. Let me see if you see them here. Yeah, today I played it. I uploaded it today. And then the other thing she says there is that she's irritated and annoyed as F because she spent $20, of course, which wasn't hers, you know, $20 on a music app, that's Spotify, I believe it was, but it wasn't like the real Spotify that she could get current music. She could only get, she goes, you know, like music from like, oh, it's like, oh, Faith, if you and I recorded something and we uploaded it. And she goes, kind of like Davion and Dom, you know, their music. And she was mocking them.
Oh my God.
Both of them. And then she kind of like turned it around after she mocked them and said, oh, but Dom and Davion's music, yeah, well, at least that would have been good or something like that. After she totally mocked it. Why would you do that if that's the love of your life and your good friend? And that's how you talk about them? Like, literally, come on.
It's like all turned to hate. And then even still, like, I don't know. I thought she was actually a little bit more feeling bad than even her mom did, because she had told her friend something like, yeah, they turned on me. And then she was like, but I think it's their way of like grieving or something.
Oh yeah, she told the family doesn't know how to grieve. Like, you know, she's going to tell them how to grieve this loss.
Right.
Mike, do you think they were fighting?
Her mom's not even thinking about maybe they're grieving. She's just like, they're just evil.
Oh yeah, I know. And the way they
evil.
talk about everybody else, if you don't like stand by her, then, you know, I believe they both were honestly. Mike, do you believe they were fighting? Something happened to make her snap. Very sad situation. You believe they were fighting, Shug? I don't know. I guess so, I think she's a very troubled person.
I think so too, because even after all this, she was like, I don't even know where Dom was in the beginning of the night. So I guarantee you she was probably like, where were you all night? You know how she is. She was probably like, where were you? And that probably started a fight. And then
Just Pepper said she was going to ruin his life if he tried to break up with her. Mike says, right, if her attorney introduced the text about Dom grabbing the wheel and threatening to crash, it would certainly muddy the waters.
Yeah, her attorney sucked. And also the attorney should have said those snaps, like the one where she was like, I'm the girl you die for, all that, like those were before the accident. That kind of like, I mean, even
but I think they might have been saying that even if it was before the accident, she kind of romanticizes the idea of like, I'm the girl you die for, that, you know, that kind of stuff. Hi, Linda, Uribe. If she ever gets out and married and then gets mad at her husband, she will do it again, Linda Uribe says.
She's not getting out. I don't think she's ever going to get out. I really don't. Because so far, I've heard she's gotten so many disciplinaries, like, already.
What does that mean, gamble all, Lodestone? I don't know what that means. Gamble all. What does that mean? I'm so glad they did not bury Dom with pictures of Kenzie. Are you sure they didn't?
He said that he didn't put any pictures in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
If you look up antisocial personality disorder, she has a lot of cross traits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She does. That's, yeah.
Gamble all. I'm not sure what Lodestone is putting in exclamation point, gamble all. Lodestone, if you want the number to call in, you have to put email.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why she didn't go straight in that wall is because her car was trying to correct, you know, try to save her from...
But I don't know. What about if Davion ends up in the front? Could he have possibly been going to get the shifter or the wheel if he ended up over there? Was he trying to climb into the front?
Maybe. Because how did he get on top of Dom upside down?
Well, it makes sense that he would have been sitting behind Kenzie, because if Dom had that seat all the way reclined, he couldn't sit behind Dom.
Right.
That's a small car. So he'd have to, if he was sitting behind Kenzie, and maybe she starts going real fast, what if he starts jumping into the front, and wouldn't that be right? Like he would have to get like in, so he would be with his head that way, because he's trying to get into the front, but just was not able to get turned around stuff before it actually crashed.
He probably did.
Oh, okay, Lodestone. That's okay. I was wondering. I thought there was some kind of thing. Don't worry about it. Okay, never mind.
I bet he did because he was, football and, probably fast to react and, and then he probably knew that this fight was escalating and he's probably
like, what are you doing? And, I don't know. And it could be the tussle is the thing that moved the shifter.
mm-hmm.
And then she ended up across the passenger seat. Now that makes more sense to me. I thought her head was under the steering wheel. Now it's completely on the other side. So that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how she had the seatbelt on and that was done. I don't know. See, Just Pepper really so totally that they're saying it's not a corpse that she dressed up. She was a music artist that Dom liked. That's another thing. So they're saying it wasn't a corpse. They said it was this music artist that he liked. But still, why would you pick something like that?
So creepy.
Why would you pick something like that?
To look like death.
Yeah, why? Yeah, why?
Still weird, yeah. And she gets all into it with the pictures, ugh.
Yeah, and then there's one where they have intestines out their body. You saw that one? With saran wrap. Yeah, it's one of the pictures. They put looks like intestines and then they saran wrap it around or something. They're supposed to be maybe
one
zombies.
Where she's weed. The other one where she's weed and her friend has saran wrap.
Something like that, because they put looks like they have the intestines on the outside of their body and they saran wrap it around. I don't know. It's in some of the pictures here.
I think it's supposed to be lean and weed.
Is that, yeah?
Yeah, and because they tried to say that was what he sung about is weed and lean. I was like,
oh.
And then they're like, well, then why didn't they use his song to the snap? So I don't know about all that. I think they just wanted to dress up as weed and lean. I don't think that was a tribute to him, too.
Oh, it looks like intestines. That's what it made. It looks like zombies or something. I don't know.
That's just a weird thing. I've never seen anyone dressed up as weed or lean before in my life. That's a weird thing to dress up as. Both of them were weird.
Yeah, I don't know. And even that concert she went to, and just with that tiny little top, it's just. It was so weird to go in something like that.
Barely wearing anything.
Yeah.
Just the fact that she would even feel like...
But she was always asking, well, where's my Dior bag? I have to get into his house. My Dior bag is there. I need that. My Dior bag.
I wouldn't give a crap.
And I saw that Dior bag, and I don't even think it's a real one.
Probably not.
It looks like a knockoff. It does.
They probably are.
Yeah. And then
she didn't seem,
But then she still kept saying, even in the jail calls, you got to go get my stuff because if they don't like me, they're going to really. What stuff? And
it's crazy to me, that she even. I don't know that she even. That's more proof to me than anything, the way that she acted after. It's just so much proof to me.
Yeah, because you'd be forget the stuff. You don't even know if your life, you're so afraid. You'd think a normal person would be like, oh my gosh, are they going to arrest me? Am I going to be in trouble? She's just worried about her bag and stuff. And then
I wouldn't even care about anything materialistic ever. And then they're like, oh, she grieved for so long, for 3 months. No, she was healing for 3 months. She couldn't do anything for 3 months. That's how long it took for her to heal, lady. Her mom was 3 months.
That was supposed to be weed, Mike. See, yeah, really? It looks like intestines. It's crazy. Oh, maybe because it was wrapped in a baggie. That's supposed to be a baggie. But why would you wear a bag? I don't know. It's a terrible costume. The mother is crazy and delusional as well. Yeah, she is. The mother is very crazy. The way she's like, oh, yay, you got a mail from him. Yay. Oh, he likes you, Kenzie. Woohoo. It's Are you kidding? And they go from like, oh my gosh, the judge gave me this sentence, and then it's like, oh, woohoo, commissary's coming. Like, how do you switch gears like that? Because you wouldn't even care about, you'd be like, oh, I don't even care about commissary. Like, Charlie Adelson, if you listen to his call after he's convicted, he doesn't go like at the ups and downs like that. He's like completely down. Like, oh my gosh, my life is over. Jamie Komorowski, the same kind of thing. She was screaming, remember, like after that?
Yeah.
Like with this, her reactions are just not even normal.
Not at all. That's why I think like she's got like that sociopath thing going on, because it's like the not caring thing. Like,
oh, I'm going to write my book, but I need my baby book.
The delusion. Like, it's real.
Like, she thinks she's going to start from the beginning. Like, they don't really want to hear about that. They want to hear about what happened, you know, with this and that night. She's going to start with the baby book. I was born on a cold August morning. Yeah, come on.
I know, that's why I was like, why do you want your baby book? Because that was when you showed signs of being a little sociopath.
My mother said I was the greatest thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah.
She should have had her license
then
taken away.
My sister came along.
Yeah. And my parents wanted a boy, but it was another girl. And how could she ever measure up to me? I was the perfect child.
Right.
Yeah. So, she was always in the way.
That poor sister, too.
Yeah. And somebody said she graduated this past year, so I don't know where she's going now, but she actually went to 2 concerts. There were only pictures of one. It's sick how she talks about the J. It's sick how she talks about the J. About the J, Linda? Oh, the older man, yeah. Well, she wants a sugar daddy, Linda. She wants somebody that's going to send her money. And this guy's going to send her money. If she leads him on a little bit, he'll send her money, and that's what she wants.
Who, the guy in Kuwait?
Yeah, the a sugar daddy. But but more than that, the people on the outside is going to be who she wants, that have the money to keep putting in there. She'll find a sugar daddy. You don't think she'll find a number? She probably has 20 sugar daddies.
Yeah, they even have like dating apps in there, I think.
They make out really well. Even the guys in prison, they write. Don't you remember that? I did a video about Christopher Longo, and he said how he gets money. Like, he would have gay men writing to him, and they would ask him to write a story. And if he would write a story, they would send him stuff in the commissary. And this is a guy, you know what I mean? He said, this is how you make money in prison. You take this correspondence, they either want a story or they want something, and they'll send them the money.
They want a story?
Yeah, like I guess they wanted him to make up either a story about maybe something that happened with him and someone else, or maybe with them, or maybe in the prison. Like, they just wanted him to write a story. Like, I guess that would get them, you know.
Ew.
And they would give him money. Maybe $30, maybe $30 for a story, you know. Just send me one. I'll put it in your commissary. Yeah.
Well, and obviously she's comfortable with that type of thing.
Well, yeah, according to those text messages, it looked like it, right? And I thought she would have an OnlyFans. Because he at one point mentioned OnlyFans, and she said, do you think?
Did?
Yeah. And why didn't she do OnlyFans? But she looked like she was physically turning tricks, right? She was meeting these people. It looks like it. I mean, allegedly, from the text, allegedly, it looks like it.
Actually went through with it?
We don't know. I mean, we don't know. We can just say, allegedly, from what it seems, it was very graphic from what the court showed in their PowerPoint. That's all we can say. In our opinion, it looked like she was meeting up with these.
That's crazy.
Johns. Allegedly, in our opinion.
Crazy.
But you would think she would have had an OnlyFans, because maybe if she had an OnlyFans and got all that attention from other guys, she would have left him alone and got money.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I just think maybe if she had an OnlyFans.
She already sounds like she's like when she was talking about the other guys, it's like, I think she would have totally gotten over him. Like, had she just...
Like, I don't
let
even
him
believe, like,
go.
how she got so stuck on him. That's the thing. Because I would think a girl like her would be like, oh, so-and-so gave me some attention, and, you know, he's doing this, and he's doing that. How she was, like, hyper-focused on him, I don't understand. Hi, UHP. How are you?
I think it was just because he was like dissing her and it made her want him more.
Maybe, but like you would think at one point maybe she would meet an older guy or somebody that she would say, oh, you know, he wants me more and whatever. Just, I don't know.
Especially if she was meeting like sugar daddies or people like that. Because she seemed like so like about material stuff. Like she might find somebody or something. Eventually.
Yeah, the drugs. Yeah, the drugs. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, his drug. That's right. 'Cause she smoked a lot.
Yeah, and at a young age, and she was very young. You have to remember she was with him at like, what, 14, 15, so that maybe older guys would be like, oh my gosh, I can't go with a 14, 15-year-old, even if they were 19 or something, right? Because even Dom was worried about it with him being 18.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And he kept saying, well, you can't talk about that. And he was telling everybody they didn't have sex, remember? And she said, what do you mean you told so-and-so that we don't have that? And he said, I told you that. I'm 18. We don't do that. Remember?
I don't remember that part either.
Yeah, it was said. And you find like they don't even talk about that in text together.
No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Took a while for them to even say I love you.
Yeah, I love you. It was like a whole year almost. I don't know.
I was like, do they even say that?
But yeah, I know. That's what I thought was so weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was a long time.
I
And
never heard of such a clingy girl in my life. Like, didn't she have any girlfriends to like tell her? Like, I remember when
no, but she's telling this other girlfriend, giving her all this advice, right? And about a manipulator and this and that, and he's sucking all your energy with those texts. That's what she was doing.
Oh God. Yeah, like I remember my friends and I would be like, when we get in a fight with our boyfriends, it would be like, don't call him. Make sure that, you wait until he calls you. All of us, that was always our rules. And we would help each other, like, nope, don't do it. Like if we were thinking about it, like we would help each other. And that was like our thing. I would never let my friend do that. I would be like, I'm taking away your phone. Like I would be like, absolutely not. I'm not going to let you look like that, girl. You are not going to do that. Mm-mm. Like, come over, we're going to do, mud masks and our nails, like,
And who's the guy she's talking about? The one that, remember when they were going to do the ice baths, and she's like, that guy is weird as AF because he's an older guy, and who is that, Kyle, or is that Carl?
Kyle.
How old is Kyle?
30?
And where did they know him from? Where was he hanging out with all these kids with? Why? With all these kids?
I don't know. And I was still trying to figure that out, too, because that seemed odd to me. I was like, who was this guy? Like, why was he hanging out with?
And did he didn't testify or anything? He didn't, I don't know.
I was trying to figure out which one he was. Because I don't know if you've seen the clip of them all doing shrooms. That little clip. There's like a little clip of them all doing shrooms, and I was like, was Kyle that guy?
Remember the old case for the young girl? Yes, Mary Jo Buttafuoco, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She reminds you of her?
Amy, or...
Yeah,
Amy Fisher.
Amy Fisher, yeah. Whole relationship.
Oh,
was
yeah,
extremely
she was a psychopath obsessed with him, too. But, yeah. Yeah. Because she was a hooker, too.
She was smoking and drinking with her dad long before meeting Dom Sally. Yeah, didn't he tell her? Linda always mentions that he said that, oh, there's some White Claws in the fridge if you want some.
Something something's not right with them, like mentally.
And why did the mother say something like, she said, "Are you go to my house?" And they said, "Yeah, we are, and then we're going to go to your mom's."
What?
In the phone call today, you should listen to it, that I posted by itself.
Oh, yeah, I need to do
It
that.
says,
I didn't see that.
She said, "Go to my house." And they said, "No, we're going to go, and then we're also going to your mom's." Like that.
That's
like,
weird.
Yeah. It's very strange.
That's such a weird family.
It's really weird. I don't know.
And like later, they're like, or who said, one of her ex-boyfriends said that, why do you think they're still together or something? And they're like, it's because she did a voodoo on Dom.
Oh, yeah. She had his hair or something and a bear,
Yes.
and she told him this. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, apparently, I think they started using those. They might have used those things that some people on YouTube do. Those boxes. Remember, and supposedly, according to Christine, the dad started to feel sorry for her and said Dom wouldn't want her prosecuted. Remember?
Oh yeah.
But then that all changed because she was saying, and when she was in jail, that she said everyone turned on you, even the dad. And she's like, yeah.
Because he was doing the what
The
was that
pendulum
called?
or something, something like that.
Pendulum.
Yeah, and Dom was saying that it wasn't her and stuff, and you wouldn't
Or
want
he said
that.
he forgave her. And
Yeah, or something like
he'd be
that.
Okay, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
You want to know how much they spent on phone calls? A lot, and they're spending on video chats, and I think each video chat, she said, is $20.
Are they?
I think that's what she said.
That's nuts.
She treated all her friends like garbage, Just Pepper. It's been shown that her parents, what, Shug? That her parents what? Have since filed, but no, they filed bankruptcy actually before the crash, apparently, allegedly. And
That's why I
before the
wonder,
crash.
how are they paying for all this now?
Is this a public defender that she had? I think he was, wasn't he? Let me see. Let me check it out if it was a public defender. Kyle, what, I think you might be behind. Kyle's the one with the perhaps she meant Dom's house because she claims, oh, yeah, and then there was a fire at the gravesite. And somebody is saying that there was a fire at Dom's house, too.
Dom's house?
That's
too?
what somebody is saying, but in the comments. But I know there was a fire at the gravesite because the sister raised money and she showed the grave all burned up. And they lost everything except for like one memorial thing. Yeah, I'll let me look that up right now. And I'm going to look up, what was the other thing I was looking up about? The public defender.
They lost all of his clothes and stuff?
No, the gravesite. But somebody said in the comments, where I have to check, they said there was a fire at his house too, but I don't know about that. Let me see. Did Mackenzie?
Gosh.
Let me see.
Wow, I wonder who would do that if she...
Oh, no, it says no, Mackenzie did not have a public defender. Her attorney was James Woolley, who represented her throughout the legal proceedings. Oh, wow. Really? So...
Did they pay for all that after filing bankruptcy? I don't know how it works after you file bankruptcy.
So why? Let me see about this attorney. What made them go to this James Woolley guy? James Woolley can refer to several different individuals, including, let me see here.
he really didn't do anything for her. I think her second one is a public defender, though, because I thought she was on the phone and she was like, oh, I'm going to talk to... The court gave me a lawyer. I'm going to talk to them. I don't know. If you're getting a lawyer for a murder, that is so expensive. I mean, you're going to pay a pretty penny.
In criminal law, the defendant usually wants a jury trial because you only need one juror to hold out, to vote not guilty. But other lawyers are saying that they think the bench trial because she was unlikable and that no jury would find her not guilty. And others say it's because the charges, because she was charged with 2 counts of murder 1 and murder 2, and defendant counsel was banking a judge would be more likely to listen and follow the law and not convict for murder 1, but still convict for murder 2 if that's where the facts lead, probably speculating that an emotionally riddled jury would be less likely to do so. But yeah, I don't know about that, so...
Yeah, I still think that was really dumb. They should have went with the... Because all it takes is one person.
And it's so weird that the judge had the same last name, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, I know. And when her eyes, when she saw that, she's all... But Russo's such a common last name, especially where I'm from, like in Monterey, California. There's so many Italians in Russo. I'm like, that's so common. She's like, it's not a common last name. I'm like, yeah, it is. Well, where I'm from, it really is. But I can understand why she would freak out. I would freak out too.
And what was the other thing that we just said? Okay, it was the public defender, and then there was the other... What the heck did I say? I was going to look up something about... Hold on, let me see if the chat remembers.
What was it?
Public defender. And... What was it, chat? After seeing the aftermath of the victims, I wouldn't have had the sense the police officers or firemen, they are way stronger than I, Shug says. Yes, they had a group chat, and they ended up kicking her out because of how she was talking to the... Okay. Oh, the friends, yes, they were actually into that stuff. They used a pendulum. Okay, and they kicked her out because of how she was talking to them. Both her boyfriends before Dom broke up with her because of her habits and the way she treated them. Shug says, I'm sure this has cost them everything. Perhaps she meant Dom's. Oh, that fire, right. That's
Oh,
her.
yeah.
See? Okay, let me try this. Fire at Dominic Russo's gravesite.
Oh my gosh, I bet it was her dad.
Okay, so there was a GoFundMe, and I'll show you this first, that shows you the damage. Okay. Hold on. Come on. Okay, so see, this is burned to smithereens here. It says, hi everyone, I'm Dominic's oldest sister. Dom tragically passed away July 31st, 2022. He was 20 years old, and our hearts were left shattered to pieces. Since then, we found comfort in keeping his gravesite a sight to see for everyone to come and enjoy. It started as his parents and siblings trying to hide the dirt after his burial, and blossomed into this beautiful memorial site that keeps us working together in honor of Dom. My mom tends to it every day for hours, sometimes more than once a day, whether it's printing pictures for everyone to look at, adding solar lights, adding decorations, keeping up with landscaping around it, adding and exchanging hundreds of flowers, laminating letters and pictures, finding trinkets to add, or beautiful statues. This is what we do for Dom, and it's our honor of our beloved brother and son. Friends and family leave memorabilia, notes, pictures, things that remind them of Dom. Somehow yesterday his grave was set on fire.
Ugh.
And everything burned to the ground. Nothing was salvageable except a cement cross. Most of the items were irreplaceable. Flowers and ribbon from his funeral, letters from his nieces and nephews and friends and siblings and grandparents, stuffed animals, things that can't be replaced. The items cost us thousands of dollars and will cost us thousands to replace. Most items were very expensive. We spent on the flowers alone originally around $1,200 each. Solar light decoration can range up to $50 a piece. We are asking for any donations. Okay. And then the update was that, hi everybody, just want to say thank you. We were able to recreate Dom's grave beautifully. Any further donations will go towards purchasing updated memorial items, flowers, etc. in the future. And maybe a nice custom bench or a memorial site at the rec where we used to watch Dom play basketball. Thanks again. We love you so much, Dom.
I hope they put a camera.
Yeah, right? And so,
that was totally her
there's
dad,
the
don't you think?
grave now. And
You don't think it was her dad?
I don't know who it was. I don't know how it started. I'm going to see if there's any other like news articles about it, but let me see.
He was such a weirdo. Remember, he was like, snap my fingers and I'm all disappear. Like, he gets all weird and crazy. I could totally see him doing that. I don't know who else it would be. He's a cuckoo bird.
Okay, let's see.
It's so funny how the mom like checks him. She's like, shut up. And he'll like, okay, mommy's getting mad at me.
Oh, here's something. It says, on the day of 20-year-old Dominic Russo's funeral last year, this was written in 2023, a comment appeared on his obituary online. I love you, my nug. The comment was posted under the name Mackenzie Shirilla, Russo's girlfriend. I will never stop thinking about you. Then it says, what else did it say? She posted weird things on there. That's what they said here. Said the only thing she
Honestly,
posted.
just go away. Leave them alone.
That was only one thing. That was like not okay. I'm trying to find. Okay, here's something. Let's see. Okay. How did the investigation of Russo's death not bring up that he was in the passenger seat? Wouldn't this have raised suspicion, or would they have passed it on? What are you talking about, that he was in the passenger seat? Let me see here. Why would you think it would raise more questions? Why would someone who presumably started off in the driver's seat try to get to the... Oh, are they saying that he... What? These must be wackos that think of... Get out of here. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to see... Why aren't they talking about this fire? On that? Let me see if... Dominic Russo. Fire damage. I'm not seeing that. For his house, I don't. Let me see. No, there's no public record of a fire at the Strongsville home of Dominic Russo or his family.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why someone was saying that in the comments. They probably got the grave site mixed up with it.
Thank God, because that would be so horrible to just lose all his clothes and. Oh. That'd be so sad.
Let me see what the chat's saying. Let's see. And the parents had no clue their babies were gone. What? It could be one of her friends who set the fire. Okay. While the victims' families asked for more. Mackenzie got off easy. Shows fire of grave, yeah. So I wonder who set this fire, and there's not even a lot about it out there. About that fire at the grave site. It's crazy. Who would set? How would that set? And wouldn't there be any cameras in the area to even see who was going in at that time and when did it start? And there's nothing there that caught any of that.
Yeah, that's really weird.
And I wonder when it was. Was it after the verdict or something? I don't know. It's crazy.
A really horrible thing to do.
Did anyone else ever hear much about this fire on the gravesite? Where's Shirilla the killer?
I didn't see her.
Shirilla the killer. Where are you? SK. Alyssa, yes, I remember him saying all those things. You could definitely be right about him doing that to the grave.
Yeah, the dad, yeah.
I don't know. He'd be pretty stupid to do something like that.
Because his anger is just so out of, control. And he just seems so kooky, I could totally see him doing that. I don't think one of her friends, I don't think anybody of the kids would, because they liked them too,
Right, yeah. And what about this Faith? I wonder if this lady Faith, this woman, this girl Faith is still standing by her.
I know, I was wondering that too. I'm like, I wonder if they're friends still.
Let me see something. Something on Facebook.
I wonder if she really thought she was guilty or not. She sounded like she really thinks she's innocent. That Faith girl. But like her
Yeah,
other
remember
friends-
the one, is that the one that said, no, there was one from California or something that says like, oh, come on, what'd she say? I've been speeding or something in my car or something like,
I've been in 3 accidents.
but you didn't hit anybody. If you hit somebody
Right.
and you're dry and you're speeding like that and you're like all doing that, yeah, that's a totally different story. And then when Mackenzie said, oh, so and so posted pictures of them like doing drugs in the car, how's that any different? But they didn't go out and drive with a car and kill anybody. That wouldn't be any different. They would be charged just like you are.
So stupid.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Yeah.
But I mean, the majority of her friends and everybody's got to know that, like, she did it, you know? I want to hear her talk to Rosie. I want to hear that.
Yeah, I listened to the one from this afternoon. And Bubba, really loyal. So they say that whoever she said it was Bubba. But
Was that the guy who the ex-boyfriend was like, at first he said that they were fighting and then he changed his story, the one who was dating Rosie and was like all sticking up for Mackenzie? I guess he changed his story. One of them did. I thought it was Rosie's boyfriend who told him. He was like, the first thing he said was that her and Dom were arguing before they left. And then he changed his story and said that they weren't. And then he changed it again. And then he lied. He said he lied to his friend Kyle. And then the guy said, no, you got to tell Kyle the truth about what happened because that was Dom's best friend. So we know for a fact that they were arguing. So, I mean, we already figured that much, but
that's crazy. I mean,
that ring must have escalated from that time on, like all that calm, and then like boom. Poor Davion, he was probably like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, it makes it sound like he was trying to jump into the front and stuff, like the way he was found. I don't know.
Because how would you get upside down? Like,
but how would he be on top of Dom? Like, was Dom asleep? Did Dom fall asleep? But then they wouldn't have been arguing if he was asleep, right?
Yeah, I don't think he was. Well, a lot of the kids will wear their seats way back like that.
I know. Yeah, I heard about that. My gosh. Okay. Let me see. I have to do, let me see. This is here. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Hold on.
Another thing I thought was weird is how they were all like messaging people like "I love you" and all this. Like, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, an inmate that was housed with Kenzie said the mushrooms wouldn't show up on the test. I know, but she said they wouldn't. Let's say, detecting magic mushrooms usually requires specialized test, as the psychoactive compounds psilocybin and psilocin are not included. Okay, all right, Lodestone. Due to the compounds, the detection window is very narrow. LOL, when this first happened, I was like, WTF, talk about this chick like she's the Antichrist. Okay, Mike, you get it now. In earlier testimony, she read that they tested for the shrooms themselves and were 95% real, but they never tested her for usage. Okay, Lodestone. But still, even, that's not an excuse for why she did this. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's what the girl in jail said, that she had done the shrooms, and then like her and Dom were arguing, and the girl in prison who was talking, she was like, I've driven on shrooms, and it's like you see like 4 different lanes or something like that, but
Yeah, but it's still like you can't do that.
doesn't make it. Why would you want to go fast? Wouldn't you want to pull over? I mean, I don't know. That would be really scary.
100
And then,
miles.
yeah, like, why wouldn't you call one of your family members if they're cool with you doing all these drugs? Like, just call somebody then.
Yeah, but I want to see like the hospital reports. When did she ask about Dom?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Like when the police went to see her. Remember they said we went to see her or something? Like, when did she ask about Dom or talk about him? How come they still didn't know his name? So much of that is so crazy. I don't even understand some of that. All right, let me see something now. I think we have to change these word keys real quick. Yeah, Jacob was her cousin, right?
It was somebody.
But maybe they had something of his in the car, like something there. They saw a name. But why wouldn't Dom have his license or anything on him, any identification?
Well, that's the first thing I would think that they would, because that's what they got from Davion. They got his license, and that's how they knew exactly who he was. So why wouldn't they do the same thing for Dom?
I don't know.
They're just gonna go off of. That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's true, right? I don't know, and so she's lost 2 appeals, and I don't know what their next step is. You know,
She's fried. She is.
You know, I just.
Especially like all her write-ups and all this, since the way she's been acting in there, like they're not gonna give her a second chance. No way. They're not gonna parole her. And those people, they're gonna be going to every parole hearing, like forever, you know? They're not very old. They could outlive her. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the women in my family, like some of them live to be 100. A lot of them.
Right.
So.
Could be.
I think she's screwed. I think she's gonna get life. And it might have sounded like, oh, they just gave her, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it sounded, yeah.
Risk, but. Mm-mm. And the judge was so right when she was like, it's really gonna be up to you. And she really, like, she read her. She knew. Because it really was up to her. She just totally screwed herself. Like, she's not even going to get to stay in that prison. She's going to have to go to the bad, a worse one. Now, I heard.
Really? Why?
Because she's had so many bad write-ups. Like, so many. Like,
in the women's prison?
Mm-hmm.
There you are, Murder of Crows. I've been missing you.
Oh, yeah, you've been asking about her.
Yeah, Murder of Crows is here, yeah. But are you sure? Are you sure? They said they're going to move her to a different prison?
They said if she gets, like, any
well, she'd be so dumb to do that, because I think she has that's probably the best prison she's ever going to be in.
I know, and she's already, like, having, like, these girlfriends, and these girlfriends, like, kind of, you know, make you do things, like, so I don't know what she's gonna do in the other one, but that does not seem fun. Like, those girlfriends
Would have been vehicular homicide of the crash was due to taking mushrooms, I reckon, instead of murder charges. Well, yeah, but with her on the speeding like that and not, I don't know. But look at Jamie Komorowski. It was alcohol. She was drunk, and she got more time. She's got a life sentence. So it doesn't mean if she was just on the mushrooms, that she would get less time.
Right.
Because she still killed them. Yeah.
Girl at least has some sympathy. Like, she sounds like, I mean, except for like the first whatever calls, but like after that, she was so like, I'm gonna be okay. You know, everything's gonna be fine. Like, a lot different than this girl.
Yeah.
Way different. Like, she doesn't seem like a bad person. Like, I actually felt
If she had done mushrooms, then she would have mentioned that.
I don't know. It is kind of weird, like, if they didn't do mushrooms, because Davion had asked that guy, her ex-boyfriend, if he wanted to trip with them, because they were all going to do them that night. And the guy said no. So they were all planning on doing them that night.
Right.
So why didn't they? And kind of like, who really goes, why are they going to these graduation parties and they're not doing anything? Like,
Yeah.
they're just going sober?
Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't really understand the kids these days, though. It's like, why don't they just have a little drink and socialize? Like, what? They're doing all this crazy stuff. Like, I don't know. In my day, people weren't doing a bunch of hallucination drugs. I never did any hallucinogens.
No.
That, I mean, only like a few people would do them, but like not my friend group. But I would think that would be the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, I know.
Do that in my life.
Yeah, me too. I can't do stuff like that. Oh my gosh, it makes me nuts to even think of it. I would think I did 110 things when I was under the influence. Oh my gosh.
That would be so scary. No, anyone would want to do that.
Very good. Murder of Crows. Good, we did. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to keep looking into it, and then there's another case that Super Chat Cat, and it's in the same county. It's that woman that left her baby alone when she went on vacation, and she was just sentenced and stuff, and so there's an interrogation and all of that. So we're going to probably go through that, and I have another case of like craziness, so we'll go through them. But thanks for coming up tonight. I'm still exhausted from yesterday. We went to Hershey Park. Hey, it's Bink is a deputy rambler again. It's Bink. She always gets like another profile and becomes a deputy rambler, but she's got a sunshine again. Okay, great. Yay for It's Bink. For becoming a deputy rambler again. Oh my gosh. And yeah, prayers for you, It's Bink, for tomorrow and stuff. But thanks for coming up, Alyssa, and we'll be discussing it tomorrow too. And you people are welcome to call in, and then we'll go through some more jail calls tomorrow. And today was Jimmy's birthday, and yesterday we were in Hershey Park. It's just, oh my gosh, I'm just still trying to recover from all that.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys all coming in. I'll thank you for the discussion. I like it. And I'll see you all soon, hopefully tomorrow. All right?
I'm gonna
Love you
watch the
guys. God
earlier
bless.
one that you did. right
Yeah,
now.
go listen to the phone call. Yeah, yep.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Love ya.
Love you.
Let me see this one and this stream and that.